Yankees and the White Sox. A little replay of what we talked about yesterday, but obviously some different pitchers on the hill here today, especially for the Yankees. We talked about Heel yesterday getting his first start of the season. Really didn't go that well as he gave up 3 runs right away, but the Yankees bats were just way too much for the Sox. And Dylan Cease got lit up like a Christmas tree yesterday. Today, the Yankees $1.75 favorite, Sox plus 155. Total in this one, a low one, 7.5, shaded towards the over here at minus 120. So today, guys, Gerrit Cole goes against Vincent Velasquez for the White Sox. Like I mentioned, the Yankees have won 16 out of their last 18. They've just been a machine. They've been a money-making machine as well, too. And Gerrit Cole seems to be back in form here. Since his blow-up on April the 19th against the Tigers, this guy's only given up 1 earned run, has 25 strikeouts. And then on the other side, Vincent Velasquez, not one of my favorites. And Jeff, you got a chance to see this guy up close and personal for many years there in Philadelphia at all. This guy has been progressively worse over the last few seasons. His ERA has gone up each and every year. Last year, it was right about 6. The year before that, it was about 5.5. And he's on his way back to a dreadful ERA with this season as well, too. And we know one thing about the White Sox. They really can't hit quality pitching. So to me, I do like the Yankees in this spot. And it's a play on Cole. It's a play against Velasquez. Jeff, give me some thoughts.
Yeah, listen, you have no argument with me on this. In fact, I don't think there's a lot of people that would give you much an argument. I will say that I have a bit of an argument with how you played it. I just don't see or understand why you would lay 175 when you could just lay a run line on a team you just described is very good on the run line. They're on the road as well. This is not a good offensive team in Chicago. You mentioned Vinny Velasquez blows, let's just be honest. And, I would play at run line just because I want to minimize the amount of juice that I'm laying. That's just my thought. But, either way, I like the play. Gerrit Cole is as good as it gets. Yeah, it's pretty standard here for me, especially off a nice day yesterday for the Yankee lineup. We know how good they are.
And I got no problem laying a run line with this. I mean, how we list it, here or whatever. And again, a lot of times, like the other day with the Cardinal game, I think it was listed I was laying $2, but I said I am going to play the run line, in that game. So, usually I make that determination if I'm going to play a run line or not. Like I said, I do not make plays until I get the lineups. I mean, it's foolish to make a play until you see who's playing and who's not. So for the purposes of this show, I'm giving the play out. But if the lineups add up, and again, everybody check those lineups. They're available usually 90 minutes before first pitch. And that's the way you have to play baseball, unlike any other sport. Major Matt, give us some thoughts on this game.
So, I mean, a lot of the stuff that I play when it comes to baseball are not the normal things per se. I like the 3-inning lines, the 5-inning lines, and I love doing K-props. And I'll give you a stat here. Obviously, BetUS hasn't put out the K-props yet, but only one pitcher, the number's 7.5 out there. Only one pitcher has gone over that number against the White Sox this year, and that's Nick Pivetta, who had 8 strikeouts against Chicago. Everybody else has had 7 or less. As a matter of fact, against right-handed starting pitchers, the White Sox are averaging 3.58 strikeouts so far this season. So to me, and this is not available yet, but it's something you can look at certainly when it does come up if you are a BetUS user. To me, I like the under on the strikeouts for Gerrit Cole here at 7.5. If the juice is reasonable, that all depends on your juice tolerance. But I think he's a guy. It also depends on how much he's got the clear going, the stuff going. If he's got the stuff going, then he's probably going to go over. But if he's not got his little sticky stuff, then he's not going to strike out a lot of guys, especially against Chicago. Also, why not just look at the Yankees team total? I mean, if you really want to think that the Yankees are going to do well, and you think they're going to hit Vinny Velasquez, which they should, you could always look at the team total because this team's certainly good, and you know that they're definitely going to get the at-bats in the ninth. You know the Yankees are going to bat no matter what in the ninth, so you get that extra advantage there. I would potentially look at a Yankee team total over in this one.
All right. Makes a lot of sense there. All right. Let's lock it in here today with the Yankees. I'll take the Yankees in this spot with Gerrit Cole, more of a play against Vincent Velasquez. And I mentioned, Jeff, that you watched a lot of Velasquez in his time in Philadelphia. And I mentioned, my thoughts on him. You feel pretty much the same way, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think this really is one of those prototypical spots where People ask me, and they've asked in this chat, when do you play the run line? This is your prototypical spot for it. Now, as Matt alluded to, Gerrit Cole occasionally can have those games, but look, all in all, he's terrific. I'm not gonna he's not here to defend himself, but Mark, I think we've talked about sometimes him and I where we'll argue with. He'll always look at what may happen in the future. I'm looking at now. The truth is, Cole is as good a starter as there is in Major League Baseball. So yeah, I like this one. Let's go on here.
All right.